Hi everyone, Yacca here. So in this new meta, with the Prince being a new card that is in the arsenal for us, one way to actually take really advantage out of that is using Murloc Shaman, which is what you're here for, and I have a deck guide video for you how to exploit this. So as you can see, right now I'm not that many games in, but I'm doing really well with it. Just with those few games, I'm at 100% win rate and just rushing towards Legend. So I guess now is the time if you want to use a proven archetype and take advantage of the situation, because those Prince Renathor, I think that's the name of him, decks you can really farm at the moment. So get in there, have a consistent deck. I know this is not a Prince video, but this is definitely one of the decks to go for, and I will go through the mulligan strategy for you guys, and I have a bit of gameplay. Do remember to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, hit me with a comment, stuff like that. It all helps out. Let's get into the mulligan. Firstly, for the deck, if I would look at some of the poorer matchups for Murloc Shaman, then you have Control Warrior, Curse Warlock, and also Beast Hunter as some of the weaker matchups for Murloc Shaman. It's not unbeatable. Out of those games that I played against all three archetypes, and I won all three. So it's definitely not unwinnable, not in any way. But generally, regarding the mulligan, it's kind of the same strategy. You want your early game stuff, but there's some things to be aware of. The real MVP in the starting hand, no matter which matchup you have, is the Clownfish. You always want to keep your 3-drop here, because that swing on turn 3 or turn 2 with the coin is usually massive enough that you get the edge to maybe win out in the early game, and also stabilize with a seer, getting out of AoE range, stuff like that. So the Clownfish is definitely 100% of the time a keep. Then you want your early game. This could be your Murloc Tidecaller, your Spawn Pool Forager, but also Firemancer Flurgle is usually many people are throwing him away in the mulligan, but it is actually one of the highest mulligan win rate cards when you keep it. So definitely something to go for there. One bait though, which is somewhat lower in the mulligan, is the Lushwater Mercenary. So if you do not really have any other 2-drops or anything else to play, throw that one back. You need the synergy with it anyway. So trying to get some of your other stuff. A possible replacement for Finny Murgleton, but you could consider him because he is provided in the basic set or the core set. But there's also Cookie the Cook, which could be a potential that is run in some decks instead of this one. I just like Sir Finley better. It might give you the Hunter Hero power or card draw. There is a chance that the Murloc Shaman runs out of cards, but it's a little bit more stable now when you can choose out stuff. You also have your Gurloc Ravager. These things allow you to stabilize, and therefore it does not seem that difficult to get the game plan rolling. Also, you want to win out in the early game. You are an aggressive deck that wins through the board, but you can make the board massive enough that it is so difficult for your opponent to actually match you. One thing to consider though, so that's the mulligan strategy for all the decks that you have, all the opponents that you might face. But on top of that, I still need to test it a little bit more, but it worked out quite fine when I played against the Warrior. But keeping a Bloodlust, that is something that is never done, but it seems like it has a tendency towards being one of the highest win rate cards if you keep it in the mulligan. And that does make sense, because you are able to push out a massive amount of damage at the point of a turn where you need it against a Warrior. And do not scoff at Brucan of the Elements. Those extra damage that you get out of the hero power, those extra minions that you get there, provides you a little bit of late game staying power. if the game ends out going a little bit late, as you will actually also see in one of the gameplay videos that I have for you guys. I think that's enough said. It's an aggressive deck. Get on the board, through the board, buff it, stay on the board, and then win through it like a massive bloodlust, or nothing can stop us. That is the way to go. That's the way to win with Murloc Shaman. I'll leave you with a bit of gameplay and have fun climbing to legend with on your own, and I hope this helped you a little bit. This is definitely too late game. Sometimes you are able to kind of spiral out of control. Brugan is actually good if we get to the late game.
I see you've brought guests.
This is perfect. And then Holy Smite. No, I guess not. Perfect. One little maybe. I'm sure it's gonna be Cold Lights here. Oh, I really don't want to pick Mutinous, honestly. But this goes great with the curve. Let's go for the Forager. See if we can win early. Okay, setting up something. If Cold Ice here is dropped, then he can't just Holy Smite something. I will admit, that is a bit annoying. It's probably going to be the War Leader then. Alright. Massively annoying, but let's try and do this. You know, I was thinking Holy Smite, but let's see. I want to do a bunch of damage before we get to turn 5. Okay. And then there's only one card that I'm afraid of. With 1 mana left, it's gonna be Holy Smite. And that is awkward, but not a catastrophe. Silence. Well, they still have their tribal tag, so I guess we're fine. Fine-ish. Could be these two instead. I think we should be fine so far. Sure, let's do it. Works out well on the next turn with the Cold Lights here. It does the dragon, which deals 3 AoE. Okay. Then this is actually going to be fine, because that sets up a good nothing can stop us or bloodlust. And we should be out of range of any annoying AoE. Okay. Let's go for it. And this one. 6, 12, 18, and another 18, 20, 25, 28. So if he does not heal and we draw a Bloodlust, then we win. That's a big if. If not, then I need 2 turns.
I could have sworn it went back together.
Okay, a good start. So just place whatever card, and it's not healing or taunting. And we just need to draw the Bloodlust, which is 1 in 22, which is then like very unlikely, and now it doesn't matter anymore. I guess nothing can stop us would be good. Just a bit of silence already. Is that worth it then? Just to ignore it? Put that one out there. I guess yes. That's good enough. Here. These two. Still kind of protects the board from AoE.
The path is clear for the world.
Oof, that's a lot of damage. Like a lot. Lots and lots of damage. Dude, how do we even... This one, right? And then it's gonna be 5. Do we trade in 2? Yes, yes, I guess we need to. Because then we can do this. And then trade in that one. And then give them a massive amount of health. Make it a little bit more, but still. And then Light Bomb is kind of his only out, and not even, right? Still gonna leave up a few minions, and then Blue Card. I think we got this. Just seems like when he's against a very consistent deck, and his deck is a little bit more inconsistent, but I think now he's gonna Sabrella. No? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then Brukan. Guess I will just do that one, right? There we go. And we're back in it. Perfect. I actually had 2 ways of doing lethal.
Morgul versus Sylvanas. Victory for the Forsaken.
Against Hunt, I'm not massively favored, but this is an amazing start. Definitely gonna keep them all. Just look at the starts. Spawn pool into coin clownfish, and then these two. Oh. That's amazing. Maybe I could even have done this, but I think the sticky minion is better. Also, it works with Lushwater Scout. Yeah, it's just gonna be completely stomped. That one, and that one. And adieu. Haha. And then I could do Sophinli into a new hero power. I think that is better. Maybe Hunter, something like that. And Sophinli can trade. Oh, that's my. There you go. Turn 3.